Welcome to our channel. I have with me today Talisha Ellis, Mrs. Talisha Ellis. She's the co-founder of Serenity's Door. I'm the founder. And this is our second episode, and we're just kind of recapping. Well, no, we're not recapping, I'm sorry. The first episode, we talked about childhood sexual trauma. So this episode, we're going to talk about healthy relationships. Recognizing, cultivating, and sustaining a healthy relationship. So one of the things that's key for me as far as just recognizing what a healthy relationship is as many of you know, I'm a divorcee. So I've been divorced, so now I'm single. So just living a single life. Talisha, she's married, so she's going to speak from the married point of view. So just for me and the whole dating scene, it's kind of complex because you just deal with so many different emotions and different people from all walks of life. So for me to actually recognize what a healthy relationship is key, because I don't like a lot of wasted time. So I have a few questions for Talisha, because also someday I would like to be married. So I have a few questions for Talisha, and I just wanted her to share some of her insight as far as just recognizing a healthy relationship, cultivating, and the main thing is sustaining. We all can get that great guy or that great woman, but maintaining, keeping that that fire, So for me, and I know it's for a lot of people, maintaining that fire. We can put on our makeup and put our heels on and be sexy for the moment, but the key is maintaining that fire, that love, because people think that love is a natural emotion, but it takes work. It takes a lot of work, and it's a lot of sacrifice. Right. So from a single woman to a married woman, my question to you is, when you met your husband, how did you know, or did you know that he was the one for you?
Well, hello everybody. I am Talisha Ellis. And before we get started answering that question, I'll just introduce myself. I am a certified professional life coach. I do a lot of well-being coaching, and well-being is more than just your working out and things like that. It's your total being. So everything I do deals around helping you to find out what's draining you and not allowing you to live to your fullest potential. So I'm also a massage therapist also, and I help people with the body work and the mind work. So now we'll get to the question. But the question is, how did I know that man was the one?
That awesome man that you had.
But basically, to answer that question, I have to tell the story of how we met.
Gotcha.
We as people, we love to try to jump into a relationship. We know what we want. We know we want a man. We know we want a wife or something. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times we don't take the time to actually figure out what it is we want. So for me, before I even met him, I was on a journey to find out what I wanted, and if I met up to that expectations that I had for that person also. So when I met my husband, I wasn't looking for anybody. A girlfriend and I, we were actually online just searching what men want. Right. And this was the day when online dating first came out.
Okay.
And so we were just searching the sites, Match, eHarmony, and all those things. Just
Christian Mingle,
Black People Meet, all those, just to find out what men wanted. I didn't want a relationship. I just wanted to know what they were putting out there. I wasn't looking for her, looking for that. And as we were online, my husband, kind of poked me or something. I don't remember what it was back then. But basically, when you have a clear understanding of what you want, it allows you to see it when you get it. Mm-hmm. I had wrote the vision and made it plain, like the Bible says.
Right.
I want X, Y, and Z. Now, did it come exactly how I wanted it? No. But when you're in line and you're waiting and your intuition is waiting for something, mm-hmm. your spirit will quicken you and let you know that this is it. But the problem what we all have is rushing. once we get it. So,
Microwave results.
Because like I said, I wasn't in a hurry. So it allowed me a time to get to know that person, get to see. I'm known as a runaway bride.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? You ever seen the movie Runaway Bride?
I think I remember.
She was known for getting engaged and then run away before she got married.
Right, getting cold feet. Okay.
Yeah, getting cold feet.
Okay,
he was actually my 5th engagement.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a cold feet girl.
Okay.
But the thing is once for me, I just noticed that people's character changes when they feel like the truth then will come out after they felt comfortable.
The mask.
Yeah, the mask came off.
That infamous mask.
So my watching you doesn't stop. Just I'm not one of those women who was like, oh, I gotta have a man. I've heard the saying, a piece of a man is better than no man. Baby, don't tell yourself that no more. No, he can even look good. He could be the wolf in sheep's clothing at first. But one thing about when they asked me to marry them, they always showed their true colors.
Wow.
Always.
Okay, wait a minute. Back up. I'm sorry. You said when they. So that has been more than one. I haven't even gotten one proposal.
I know,
like, what's
I'm
going
sorry.
on?
But I was saying I was a runaway bride. But so I would be in a relationship for about a year or so, and men always asked me to marry them, and always.
Yes.
And I really, really loved them at that moment. But I'm just, I don't know. I have issues with commitment.
Okay.
So I'm already on alert. You have to know thyself. I'm not gonna lie. Know yourself. I know that I'm not that girl who's always waiting for a man to come save me.
Right.
I'm not her.
The damsel.
Yeah, I know. I have to make myself be her.
Right.
But I am not that girl. So I was never one always looking for her. So, but I was gonna say that was just my journey. For somebody else, they may, but I think we spoke on it in the last show where we said that there are signs.
Yes.
There are signs.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't
ignore.
pay attention.
They pay
ignore
attention or they ignore.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I wasn't one to ignore the signs.
Okay.
So for my husband that I am married to, he stayed consistent. And at that point, and I always say a man should be 2 things to a woman. We as women, we're protectors and emotional. We take it. Men should be providers and protectors.
Yes,
no matter what.
P's.
So you're gonna protect my heart, my mind, my soul, all of that. You're gonna provide for me spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, all of that. So I was looking for these things, and a lot of us as women, we have these daddy issues. We don't know what to look for.
Right.
So the first step we talked about recognizing, we have to recognize that for one, we may don't have a clue what it is we want. We just don't want to be alone. That's not good enough.
Right. So you're not ready for a relationship at that point. Exactly.
So recognizing what stage you're in. I see so many women, we joked about women wanting these men, they have to be a certain height, and they won't even give them a time of day. But he can be a perfect man.
Right.
He's just not the right height.
Right.
But we joke about it, but a lot of people do have these stipulations that are unrealistic.
And also, in that aspect, you set these parameters for the other person, but are you presenting your best self?
Right.
Have you did a self-check?
If you did a self-check, how's your credit?
Exactly.
I'm always joking about I get background checks and credit checks and STD checks. I'm sorry, but I didn't.
In today's society, we both work in healthcare,
but
so that's important.
That's so important. If he has a problem or she has a problem with talking about it, then we have a problem.
Exactly, right. Know your status, people. Know your status.
Right, at all times.
At all times.
Even once you get in a relationship, know your status.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that is important, recognizing, because, many people jump into relationships with a lot of baggage.
Right.
And so if you know that you are not ready, see, I knew I wasn't ready. When I met my husband, I was not ready to meet
How did you do that?
I just was his friend for us about 6 7 months. We were
friends. Was he in friend zone?
He was friend zone, and he was okay because we were both in the same place, to be honest, because he had come out of a relationship. So we totally was just like, whatever. We don't really want this.
Okay.
But we know, like the Bible says, some people are meant to be alone and some are not.
Right.
I'm gonna acknowledge, I'm not one of them people that are meant to be alone. I like to be alone, but honesty, recognizing that I'm not meant for that. Absolutely. God did create me to be someone with somebody else.
Right.
That's why.
Okay.
Yes. Recognize.
So I guess from the single point of view, for me, I'm going to say in recognizing a healthy relationship, because I've been in tons of unhealthy relationships. So you clearly know what's healthy and what's not healthy. And I think for me, one of the 4 things, and I categorize them as number 1 being the level, maintaining a certain level of communication. I think that's so key.
Right.
Communicating and articulating what it is that you want from or you expect from that person. And you can't set your level of expectations so high, it's unattainable for that other person.
Right.
Because we're 2 imperfect beings, trying to, come together and cultivate a relationship. So for me, just maintaining a decent level of communication. I love to talk. So for me, that's number 2. And number 3, I'm going to say keeping and maintaining that fire. That's big.
That fire.
Yes, that fire. We got to keep that fire going. I mean, it might not.
Get bored.
What? Because Talisha is also my life coach, so she knows. My attention span is short. So any man that I deal with, you gotta bring it, because I'm bringing it. I'm good.
Exactly. Some women are okay with being at home watching TV, staying home mom, crocheting some scarves. I just told her the other day, I don't have any of the typical women gifts. I can cook, man. But the sewing, the planting, the gardening, all that stuff. I just started wearing makeup. We don't have all of that.
Right.
You're gonna do. Anyway.
So for me, just maintain, and even in a married relationship, you have to keep that fire.
Right.
Date night, and keeping your sexy, maintaining your sexy, your sex appeal. That's for both men and women.
Right.
Yeah, men, we need you to keep it together also.
But you talked about the second was cultivating, and I have this relationship wheel that I go over with people. Yeah, I'll show you.
Yes.
Basically,
bring it out.
But even with your well-being, like I said, there's many parts to your being that people miss, because you have your mental, your emotional, your physical, your spiritual, your financial, all these things. Even your environment. If our home is not good and conducive to a healthy relationship, we're gonna be beefing anyway. So, but inside of just the relationship part of itself, then there's many components that people mix up. Okay. Like I said, that a man should be a provider and protector. And I've noticed some men get caught up on just that providing part. As long as I go to work and pay the bills, then I'm fine. But there's so many other parts, and the wheel brings it out. Like, I need to be able to have healthy trust between each other. Like you said, healthy boundaries. You need to be allowing me to be me still in the midst of this relationship. That's why I love my husband, because he lets me still be me. But as far as growing by yourself, whatever it is in your singleness, you still have to grow. And then there's the communication. We know that. Yes, women do talk more than men.
Can you repeat that?
Women do, not me. I have a saying, I don't need to go around the block. Just keep me on the street. I think I should have been a man. But
I need you to bring that down.
Just come on. Just give me the point. See, I'm the factual person. But know yourself. And because in my relationship, that we're the opposite. So he likes to tell, and I'm just like, can we just get to the point?
Wow.
But in each relationship, it's different. And but the mutual support. Like I said, we grow in relationships. And so if I am doing some big event somewhere or having something going on in my life, I need you to be supportive. Friendship, we have to be friends first. I need you to be my best friend, to be honest. I need to be able to tell you, there should be nobody else between the two of us that knows our deepest, darkest secrets no more than we know. And then sexuality. Yes, the Bible says nobody will abstain except it's an agreement with the two. So you can't hold back, women and men. And being honest. So,
but repeat that. Wait a minute, because hold up. In men's defense, a lot of women slip in that. I'm not one of them, but a lot of women, they fall short in that area. It's like, okay,
I'm still sexuality.
Yes.
Sexuality.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Can we elaborate on that one?
Elaborate on that one.
Okay.
I use the Bible a lot because when
make it biblical, honey.
make it biblical. He said that you should not be withholding from each other unless you're in agreement. The two of you are in agreement, because what you're doing is allowing room for the devil to come into your relationship. Well, because if we're not together, and the more we're apart, the more we're growing apart. And it doesn't always have to be sex, just intimacy itself.
Absolutely.
Sitting with each other, feeling close to each other, feeling like you're one. If the more room that you give apart to each other, the more room you allow things to come into your life for you not to understand each other. That's when one person starts growing and the other person stays stagnant and things like that, because you all are not coming together and being together as one as you're supposed to be. She want me to stay a little longer on that one.
No, no, because I think a lot of times, okay, this is coming from a single woman, a queen, the queen aspect. As single women, we get so caught up into being the prize for men.
Right.
We forget that we need to work on some things.
Right.
We're not always as up to par as we think that we are. If you're not presenting your best self, how can we say, oh, okay, well, he's not making six figures, or
right.
his credit score is such and such. Well, we're not presenting our best self, but we've been so trained to think, oh, we're the prize, we're the queen, but there's no queen without that king. We gotta crown that king, and in order for us to crown that king, we gotta present our best self as a woman, so there's some things that I think prior, as a prerequisite to getting into any type of relationship, we have to do like a self-check. Yes.
It's not just once. It's over
constant.
and over.
That's exactly. I so agree with that.
Anything that's not growing is dying.
Right.
But what was I getting ready to say? But basically, you touched on a lot in that little aspect.
Yeah. But let me finish. Let me ride with you for a minute. So, and like I said, I have married friends and I also have single friends. So my single friends, we're so caught up into, oh wait, girl, he gotta have this and he gotta do this. Right. Well, you're not going to the gym. You're not keeping yourself, marketable. My father used to always say, keep yourself marketable. Keep yourself marketable in the workplace. You'll go far. Personally, professionally, you'll go far. So that's always near and dear to my heart, keeping my marketability level up. So, ladies, we gotta do better. We gotta do better.
She's speaking from the single perspective.
Yes, and when you're married, you're good. But
I still gotta keep it together.
Yeah, you do. But I think as single women, we don't have to chase a man. We don't have to come up off the porch. You said no?
I ain't doing that, no way.
No, we don't do that. That's not ladylike.
Right.
But if a man wants you, he will come for you.
Oh,
literally, he will come for
definitely.
you. So, but give him something to come to. It's
Right.
like, yes, I'm here.
But I want to touch on that what it brought up for me was those ladies who are successful, who got the six figures themselves.
Yeah.
I hear this all the time on the radio. Why can't I have a man? I get women asking me all the time, how is it you got engaged so many times? Why don't you have a problem getting a man? And the first thing I tell them is two things. One is your baggage and your intentions. Because men see it. I don't care. I know as a woman, I can see how a man's carrying himself. If he truly believes in himself, if he has some type of self-confidence and self-worth about himself, I can see that. So I can just imagine what men see. And so if she's walking around unapproachable, yes, you can have your standards, but at the same time, even like you said, check yourself. How's your attitude? How is your upkeep? How is that? Usually you're not 1,000 yourself either.
Absolutely.
And everybody could just relax, to be honest. It's
Right.
it's really not that serious. Love is not that serious.
It's not complex.
It's not complex at all. And I was saying I'd rather be surprised than upset when it comes to those expectations.
Right.
So I can set a bar here. I can believe that you can do better. I can believe that I want. And I'd rather get surprised that I got better than I wanted than being, all upset that I didn't get what I want. I mean, I don't set them so high that it's unrealistic. That's my point I'm making.
Okay.
You know, so that way, if God does bless me with somebody who exceeds it, I have room to be excited and love it, as opposed to setting it way up here and he can't even meet that.
Right.
So you miss all this blessing. You miss all this blessing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, if this man was good on a communication, I mean, he supported you. Maybe you're in the same field or something, and friendship, all these things. But he's missing one thing. He's too short.
Right.
Then what? You tell me you ain't gonna date him?
Right.
It could have been your knight in shining armor.
Right.
You know. But hey, that's people. But
I wanted to also speak on number 4, because I didn't know it only did 3. Number 4 was maintaining. Well, not expecting that other person to bring that happiness into your life.
Make you happy.
Yeah, if you're not happy with yourself, how do you think that someone else is going to be happy with you?
They can't sustain it. Even if you make me happy today, there's no way you can sustain it.
But if you're not happy with yourself, you cannot be happy with someone else. That's temporal. So you have to create your own happiness. Me, I go on trips by myself. I create my own happy zone. I don't want to keep doing it by myself.
Right.
But, in the midst of being single, I enjoy, my time. My moments, I call them my moments of solitude.
Right. Well, back to the singleness, maintain your singleness in a relationship. That's a healthy relationship. I would say if you have somebody who's crowding you all the time and don't allow you to be or relax or something, or is not giving any reciprocity, like they say, you can't keep withdrawing from the bank account and then expecting there to be funds there. You can't keep withdrawing from me and expecting me to have something for you. So I need to be able to get somewhere where I can be happy and things. But like I said, it's many aspects to a relationship. You have to have trust. You have to have communication. You have to have boundaries. You have to have mutual support, friendship, the sexuality and intimacy, and honesty. So I'm so glad you joined us today, and it's a wonderful information. If you would like to work with us and have a little help in that relationship area, maybe you're not clear about what it is that a good relationship looks for you. I know we threw out a lot of points here today. Like I said, I'm a life coach and a well-being coach, so when you're working with yourself, you have to take into account your whole life. Sometimes it's not just the relationship that needs work on. So like I said, if you're in an unhealthy relationship and you do need some help, because Serenity's story is about helping people to have healthy relationships, and we know that there are some out there who are suffering in domestic violence relationships. So the National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE.
That's 1-800-799-SAFE or 72